Good morning. Today marks the 50th anniversary of Earth Day. And I've chosen to begin with some of my favorite words by Chief Dan George. The beauty of the trees, the softness of the air, the fragrance of the grass speaks to me. The summit of the mountain, the thunder of the sky, the rhythm of the sea speaks to me. The faintness of the stars, the freshness of the morning, the dewdrop on the flower speaks to me. The strength of fire, the taste of salmon, the trail of the sun, and the life that never goes away. They speak to me. And my heart soars. Yesterday I was sharing with you my conundrum, a conundrum that was filling my head for most of the morning. As I was thinking about, with many millions across the planet right now, I suspect, are thinking about how this pandemic, how this time out, how this wake-up call might be inviting us to move forward to reimagine how we can live more faithfully out of the ancient sacred balance that was foundational in the teachings of all major religions and all indigenous communities. And it struck me by the end of the day that the reason I was having such a hard time is that I was trying to go through the portal of a spreadsheet or a budget. And I thought to myself, you know better. Since when has ever any amazing vision ever rose out of a spreadsheet or a budget? If we want to reconnect with the possibilities of a world made new, we're going to have to go through another portal. Portals of poetry and music and dance, a portal of the creation itself. And it is when we go through those other portals that invite us to listen and to connect and to fall in love and to remember what we love. Then the visions and the way to achieve the visions will rise. And so here's a poet. Here's always a portal for falling in love. I rose this morning early as usual and went to my desk. But it's spring, and the thrush is in the woods somewhere in the twirled branches, and he is singing. And so now I am standing by the open door, and now I am stepping down onto the grass. I am touching a few leaves. I am noticing the way the yellow butterflies move together in a twinkling cloud over the field. And I am thinking maybe just looking and listening is the real work. Maybe the world without us is the real poem. I had a tree in my life 25 years ago. It was at the back of the property where I lived in Chateauguay. And I opened my eyes every morning in this window in my bedroom, and it was right there, dominating the sky. It was mystical and magical, a maple. And then one day my neighbor came to the door and suggested that it needed to be cut down because it was interfering with his roses growing. I was a bit dumbfounded and a bit anxious because no one wants a neighbor to be angry with them, but I did nothing. And then a lawyer's letter arrived in my mail, and so I went to see my neighbor and said, surely we can come up with a plan that is win-win. And I'll never forget his response. He said, no, that's not the way the world works. There are winners and there are losers. And I walked away from that conversation screaming in my mind, no, that's not the way the world needs to work. Yet nevertheless, a lawyer's letter kind of created a certain amount of anxiety in me. But I remember waking up the next morning and there that tree was greeting me again. And the thought of it not being there simply broke my heart. So it wasn't the principle that drove me. It was the fact that I loved this tree and that my heart would be broken without it. So I arranged to get a really good haircut. But that tree wasn't going anywhere. That's how the story ended. Thankfully. Senegalese poet Baba Dioum suggests that we only protect what we love. So I invite you, good friends, this morning, if you are able, to go outside and to fall in love again with the earth, its creatures, its gentleness, its wildness. Maybe even flirt with a few cardinals. Those cardinals are so flirtatious. But take a moment and allow your heart to soar. And connect with love. Again, with the earth, which has been holding you in love since the day you took your first breath.